Three failed Republican candidates for Senate in Georgia since 2020, David Perdue, Kelly Loeffler, and Herschel Walker, all took the stage to back former President Trump at his Macon, Georgia rally yesterday.
It is time for it to stop, and it stopped on Tuesday when we get to the polls and we vote for my friend and your friend, Donald Trump Jr. Donald J. Trump.
If you voted, you're not done. You got to go get other people to vote. Get people you go to church with, people you party with, people you know, people you like, people you don't like. I don't care. Take them all.
We are going to turn out and make sure he can tell Kamala Harris, Kamala, you're fired.
Kelly Loeffler, I don't know how to pronounce your name, despite the fact I've pronounced your name a million times. Let's work on it. Kamala.
Yeah.
Kamala. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Come on. Kamala. Come on.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Anyway, let's bring now the Democrat who I think beat all of those people and about 14 people behind them in the crowd. That's Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia. He's a surrogate for the Harris-Walz campaign. Senator, thanks so much for being with us. What's Georgia looking like?
Good morning. It's great to be with you. Look, I'm feeling good. Welcome to Battleground, Georgia. This race will be tight, as were all of my how many? 5 races. But I beat 2 of those folks you saw on the stage, and we're going to deliver Georgia to the Kamala Harris column.
All right, Ed Luce is with us. Financial Times' Ed Luce is with us and has a question. Ed.
Senator, good to see you. Compared to 2020, what has Georgia done to improve or harm its election integrity since then? How do you measure Georgia 2024's election machinery against the last time?
Listen, the most important thing for folks to do right now is to show up to the polls. I am heartened by the historic early vote turnout that we are seeing. And but the reality is this election will be decided tomorrow. And so if folks haven't voted already, they need to show up. They need to make sure everybody in their circle shows up. Yes, there have been some machinations around elections here in Georgia. We're no stranger to that. We watched MAGA members of this state board of elections try some tricks, literally while people were voting in the very last hour. Thankfully, the court slapped those things down, and it will not stand. We will be vigilant in court. There are folks who operate in that lane, but I think the folks who are watching me who are asking, well, what can I do? You can show up. Half of life is showing up, and this election, again, will be decided tomorrow. The way to respond to voter suppression is to show up, because in a real sense, that's the effort, to so demoralize parts of the electorate that you don't even bother. And I'm proud that I'm a part of a party that, quite frankly, feels like its fortunes are better when the electorate expands, when more people show up. We have a coalition that looks like America. And I believe Georgia's going to deliver one more time for the American people.
Senator, good morning. It's good to see you. In a rally the other day, you sort of gave one of your sermons, in fact, and you said, we're going to talk a lot about policy. There are a lot of important issues, but you called this a moral moment in America, and went on to say, which fits into the conversation we were just having, a moral moment in the church, speaking directly to evangelicals. What did you mean by that?
This is precisely that. I meant it, and I've been saying it. This is a moral moment in America. Elections are about the character of a country. And look, after tomorrow, this country's got to go through some healing. Ever since Donald Trump came down that escalator, public discourse in our country has been going down. And I just want to appeal to my pastoral colleagues who are on the MAGA side of this political ledger. I want to hear what they're thinking these days as we watched over the weekend talk about political violence, as we saw obscene gesticulations from a presidential candidate that caused some social media platforms not to be able to cover that part of his remarks. I'd like to hear from my pastoral colleagues about the family-friendly content of these MAGA rallies and how they explain that to their children.
All right, Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia, thank you so much for coming on this morning.